Hi paint pouring people, welcome to today's live. I'm glad you guys are here and more will be showing up soon. Today I'm going to paint a winter landscape. It's winter here if you're at this part of the globe. I understand we have an international audience. It's winter here, it may be summer somewhere else, but I'm going to do a really nice winter landscape today. It's going to be trees, a dark sky, and against a snowy backdrop. So this is what I'm using today. It's a 12 by 24 canvas. These are really good for landscapes. I'm going to do it in a horizontal way. And another thing I'm going to do that's going to be kind of fun is I'm going to paint it upside down to me. So it will be facing you, but it will be upside down to me. And the reason is trees are just shapes. Trees are not trees. They're just shapes. So I'm going to prove it to you, I hope, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to get started. I have all my colors mixed up, and towards the end I can answer some questions. I have my cameraman Clint behind the lens today as always, and he will be checking out some of your comments in a little while. But meanwhile, we're going to get started right away. So here we go with the winter tree landscape. I'm going to start with a white background, which I do a lot. This is just pouring medium and white paint. I'm going to spread it out. This makes it easier when you put your color down. It makes the colors slide around a little easier than if you were painting on a dry background. So I like doing this for this type of scene. If you're just doing a regular pour, you don't have to have a wet background, but this works really good for me for what I'm doing. And I notice a lot of my paint pouring people are doing the same thing with this. It's working out really well. You want it coverage, but not so deep that it's a big lake.
I'm just going to say a generic hello to everyone that's saying hello and let Caren keep demonstrating, but hello to everyone.
I'm checking my depth here. It looks pretty good. It's different every time. This is the beauty of this. You never know. So if you saw my Christmas tree last time, I'm starting out in a similar way. I have some turquoise that I'm going to put in there just to keep some variety in the white so it's not just straight white. But I don't want it to stand out too much, so I'm mixing it in. And it'll be more of a hint of color as opposed to anything that dominates. Just want something back here. You can see some cells are coming up. I have silicone in my colors and no silicone in the white. That's how I normally work. So there's a start to the snow. All right, here we go with the sky. This is a cerulean blue. I'm going to use some black. I don't want to get too carried away with the black, but it'll help darken this blue. And then let's throw in some purple in a couple of spots. Now I'm going to make the night sky. I'm going to play around in this for a minute until I get what I want. And I'm going back and forth with my strokes, so I don't want a straight line. I want this to look like a snowy hillside. So I have to remember to go up and down. Again, these are just shapes. It's looking nice and dark. There's cells coming up. It looks really, really good here. Just going to play for another minute. Probably that's good. You also have to know when to stop. So there's some nice cells. Nice variation of color. Black, purple, blue. Now here we go with the trees. I have a little 5-ounce cup, and I have a variety of greens, a gold. I'll probably throw some blue and white in there. This is a cup that I used the other day, and I just wanted to point this out. I let it dry. You can reuse these cups. Just all you have to do is let them dry, and don't feel like you need to throw a cup away every time you use it. I just wanted to show you that. So I'm going to start a dirty pour with my different greens. There's a gold. Gold is always fun to use for variety. This is sort of a pearl forest kind of green. I'll throw some, let's throw some purple in there. We'll see if it shows up. Sometimes it does. Not too much though. And some white. I'm going to do a slight mix. Since this is a small amount and I'm pouring small amounts, I want it to come out more or less as a mixture. Now I'm going to start pouring the tree shapes. I'm going to keep distance between them because they'll get bigger once I start dragging them into shape. Let's see. I'm going to start out with 3. And I'll do a couple more, but I'm going to work on these first. So you can see the color came out as a nice mix. I'm just going to pull it out into an upside down tree, right side up to you. This doesn't take long. Just kind of making squigglies. Some nice cells coming up. I like to make sure at least one of the trees breaks the horizon line. Anytime I do a landscape, I like something, whatever the subject is, something to break the horizon line. So this one is. Maybe another one will, but we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. So there's one. Comes tree number 2. They're sitting in snow, so I want it to be kind of flat down here. Another thing I like to do is vary the sizes and the shapes. You don't want them to look like matching soldiers sitting there. You want to, it's nature, so it's all variable. That's also an advantage of painting upside down. It keeps you from thinking too hard about what the tree looks like. You should try it sometime if you haven't. Try painting upside down. I think this one might break the horizon too, because it wants to. All right, I'm going to go for 2 more. Got just about the right amount of paint for 2 more. I wanted to leave plenty of white space in between. I didn't want it to be too crowded of a forest. So this was my idea, to have plenty of snow in the background showing. And I still have some pour left if I need it, but this might be enough. Again, I'm looking at these others. I want to make sure they're different heights, different sizes. This one, let me see. I'll start from the top on this one. It's funny, that feels different to me to start from the top. Maybe I'll have this tree meet the other tree because none of these are touching, so having one overlap or be a little closer is also looks really good as far as your composition goes. I'm going to let this one run off the bottom too. I didn't let anything run off the bottom yet, so one of them needs to run off either the side or the bottom. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add some to the bottom.
Just so you know, you're getting some great comments, some really interesting questions, lots of interest here.
Yeah, and I say this every time, I love it when the design goes over the side, goes over the edge, and some color drips down. Some people worry about their edges, neat edges. I don't worry about it. I think it's part of pouring is when you get this pour over the edge. So I like it messy. This particular technique isn't terribly messy, but as long as I get something somewhere going over the edge, I'm pretty happy about it. I mean, look, this is just a few minutes now, and I've just painted a landscape. It's kind of unbelievable how quickly this can go. As long as you have your paint mixed, but you also have time if you run out of something. This stays wet for a long time. At least, you know, probably you have a half an hour to play in this. That's what's neat about the pouring medium is it stays wet, so you have time to play. See, and the white, when I put the white in the dirty pour, you can see it kind of looks snowy. As opposed to if there was no white in there. I always pretty much put white in my dirty pours because it helps accentuate the cells. So it really is a useful thing, the white. All right. Odd numbers, that's what I like in a composition. Varying heights. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to do to make this just a little different, a little more interesting. I'm going to turn one of these into a Christmas tree, meaning I'm going to put some of the colored dots on here as if it's lit. This is optional. You could leave it straight as a winter scene, but since we're demoing, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I think I'm going to do this one. So let's start with the red. You don't need much because this will spread. If you want to wait until the painting is a little more dry to do this, you can, and they will spread less. If you wait till it's totally dry, of course, they won't spread at all. Just personal preference. I kind of like seeing what happens. So we're going for it. I'm going to, okay, I got red, some dots of yellow. Now, purple. I don't like too many purples because it's not all that Christmassy, but a few is okay.
People are saying you're cheering them up.
Oh, really? Are we sad? Or were we sad? Okay, red, purple, let me see, what else? I'll do this turquoise. That doesn't show up very good. Never mind. Cool. Stop right there, I think. Cool. Maybe a dot of this darker blue. There you go. We'll see how that looks. Yeah, that shows up a little better. Needed another color. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now how about a star at the top of one of them? Maybe right here?
We're getting comments about maybe some gold for a star or a light. Just your call as the artist, of course.
Let me do, that's too centered. This is too centered. I don't want to do it here. Maybe I'll do it here because this one's decorated. I'm going to try the gold. Gold, if you've used pearls and metallics, you know it shows up a little more metallic after it's dry. This is how I like to do a star. I do sort of one long line and then a cross and then an X. And that makes a nice, fun little easy star to do.
Very cool.
I don't think it needs anything else. Anybody got any ideas?
Open question.
I'm using Easy Flow as my pouring medium. And acrylic paint. You can use any kind of acrylic paint that you have. Some brands work better than others, but if you have some, give it a try. There it is, a winter scene. How about it? 12 by 24. These got a little big, but nah, that's okay. The red kind of spread. What you think?
Anybody that missed it from the beginning, some people saying they came in late or they missed it from the beginning, this will be up on YouTube after a while and you can watch it from the first jump. So
we will be doing more lives and we will also be doing more recorded tutorials, so don't worry. I know this is my third live in a row and we're just trying some different things out. So this is, we just started doing lives. We're getting used to how it works and how we want to do it. So thanks for bearing with us, and I really hope you like what you see here and you'll give it a try. You can see how fun and easy it is. I know we did a single Christmas tree the other day. This is basically the same thing, just an expanded version. I love these long horizontals for landscapes. They really are nice.
do you want to take some questions?
Yeah, if there's anything out there, sure.
So I'm scrolling through the comments. Lots and lots and lots of comments. Just trying to pick out something that's maybe a little bit...
If you want to give a shout out where you're from too, we always love seeing where everybody is. It's amazing, the around the world aspect.
Getting a lot of people have said where they are, which is always good.
While I'm waiting, I'm going to soften this edge of this snow with my stick. Go ahead.
People are saying you make it look easy.
You know, it's easy, but it takes practice. I don't know how you reconcile that. The only thing you can do is to start. I had difficulties. We all have difficulties when starting a new technique, and you just have to find your way. And I was trying to figure it out for a long time. Trying to figure out how to get cells. And I said, if I ever figure this out, I'm going to tell everybody I know so they can do it too. Because it's so much fun. But even when you know, even with specific instructions, it still takes some practice.
Somebody's asking possibly about a shooting star in the night sky. It's just something. It's a good idea, something to think about. But again, it's obviously artist's choice.
Yeah.
Simona likes the where you put the star, not in. She likes the gold. Somebody else likes. I just missed it here. I think it's. Is it Calliope? Likes not having put the star in the center. Yeah,
I don't like things in the center that attract the eye. This center tree is a little bit centered, but there's five trees, so that kind of helps. I try and avoid centering things.
Christy's asking about the silicone. How much silicone in your paint?
I put about, when I'm mixing up, this is a 10-ounce cup, and I typically mix up 10 ounces at a time. I use about 1 part paint, about 3 parts pouring medium, and maybe in this cup there might be 5 drops of silicone. You don't need much. I don't use anything else. I don't use rubbing alcohol and all this other stuff. It's just not necessary, and I haven't found it does anything. So my recipe is very simple.
And we're also getting a question about why would you or would you not torch this painting?
Well, the pouring medium that I'm using, which is Easy Flow, I have found the cells come up on their own, and there's so many cells in here that I don't torch as much as I used to since I started using the Easy Flow. There's cells really in every part here except, of course, the white. You don't necessarily need cells everywhere in a landscape type thing, but it is fun to have, and I just don't see the need for a torch. I like what I'm seeing here, and if you haven't used a torch, what it does, the heat brings the silicone up to the surface, and here come the cells, but they're coming up without heat.
Somebody's also asking about oily paintings. I wanted to know what they might be doing wrong.
Oil, maybe silicone on the surface after it dries? Or,
I would interpret that way based on what Noelle is asking.
When you do a painting that has silicone in it, the silicone will rise to the top after it dries. I find just very minor traces of it. I try and clean off my dry paintings with, say, a little dish soap and a damp paper towel. That way when you put the varnish on, the silicone is gone and it doesn't repel the varnish. But sometimes I'll varnish a painting and there's still a trace of silicone. It wants to repel the varnish. I just do a second coat and it usually takes care of it.
Okay. Someone's asking about if you put silicone in the white, which you don't.
Right. I put silicone in the colors. The white's not necessary. All right, we're going to wrap this up. I hope you give the winter scene a try. I know I don't like painting winter scenes in the summer, but I love doing it in the winter. So here we are in the middle of winter. It's December. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And if you would like to help support my channel, I have a Patreon page with exclusive videos and content there. I have a PayPal link. And I have new today, if you go to Paint Pouring People, I have merchandise there where you can buy things with my original logos on there. It's, paintpouringpeople.com is the merchandise webpage. And I also have a Facebook group called Paint Pouring People. If you want to go to Facebook and join our group there, you can post pictures of what you do. We love seeing the paintings that you do based on my videos. And any support you give, it helps keep the videos rolling and the paint pouring. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time. Be sure and comment, subscribe, and like. Bye-bye.